What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I am your host, Jay Nixon, and as you can see, some shit has changed. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not on YouTube, you need to check the show out over there. But the beard is gone. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know who I was when I saw myself in the mirror the first time. I slid into my own DMs. That's how excited I got about it. I'm like, who is this good looking son of a bitch? And then I realized that I was in my DMs. I'm like, who is this? And I'm like, it's me. Like, so that happens, people. I'm sorry. It happened. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it didn't. It was real. I walked in the kitchen. Lori freaked out, screamed. She thought it was a young Bradley Cooper, maybe a young Jake Gyllenhaal had walked into the kitchen. And I just said, babe, relax. It's me. And she heard my voice. She calmed down. Everything got back to normal. But yeah, so if you're not watching and you're just listening, just know that the beard is gone. I consulted with my legal counsel. They let me out of Opportunity 2020 beard grow because of a loophole in the contract. Gavin didn't hold up to his end of the deal. And then, there was some other things going on, but just know that there was a loophole. I found it, shaved, back to normal, looking clean, looking mean, ready to go. So guys, today's episode, I've been thinking a lot about this because people are going cray cray. I mean, even if you're in a state right now that's been able to been opened back up, California, we're not. We're still on lockdown. People are acting crazy, and I don't blame you. I do not blame you. And here's the reason. Because today's episode is titled this, The Damage of Deprivation. And here's what's happening. All of us right now, regardless of where you are, regardless of what state you live in, regardless if you're able to go back to work or not, regardless of maybe you worked the entire time, this whole thing, and maybe you were essential. I don't know. You've still felt a bit of deprivation. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a definition here because I like to get really scientific on these things, right? And so the definition of to deprive of means simply this: to take away from, right? To take away from, or to not allow, or to have kept something from someone. And the definition of deprivation means the damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in our society. Hello. That's a big one right now, right? Let me read that again. The damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities in our society. And if that doesn't punch you right in the throat, nothing will, right? And then the lack or denial of something considered to be a necessity. Man, are we not all jamming a little bit on that right now? Don't we all feel a little deprived? And listen, I live in a world, right? I live in a world of deprivation. It's the weight loss, the transformation world. Everybody has tried that model, since the beginning of time, and it's failure 101, right? We all know deprivation, especially in the world. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the pod, about when someone deprives themselves, they just want more of it. So I'm going to go into a little bit of psychology with you today on why you feel the way you feel. And then I'm going to give you a 5-step system at the end to help you not feel that way. How amazing is that going to be? So let's look at the damaging effects on our psychology that deprivation has. So being deprived, guys, can lead to actually some illogical or some irrational behaviors like binge eating, either hoarding money or spending money excessively. I mean, we all saw this at the beginning of this whole pandemic or whatever we're calling it anymore. I don't even know. Does it have a new name? The Rona? Toilet paper hoarding at its finest, like we've never seen a day in our lives. And it didn't even make any sense. Like this situation, this thing, the Rona, doesn't even mess with your gastrointestinal system. Nobody was even getting the dookies. But yeah, we got crazy and we started hoarding toilet paper. That's irrational or illogical behavior based on the perception. We hadn't even been deprived yet. It was simply based on the perception of deprivation. See how powerful deprivation can be? We weren't even there yet, and we wilded out. We got crazy as shit. So let's remember this: feeling deprived of an important resource like love, food, money, or time can lead to anxiety or even anger. This is what I'm talking about. Some people are wilding out right now. Some people that are normally pretty sane, pretty straight line, hey, what's going down type of people, wilding out. either super anxious and depressed. I've seen a bunch of people turn into anger. And here's what happens, because when we obsess about the things that we're being deprived of, and listen, we all are. Like, I love to go to work. I love it. I love what I get to do. I love, listen to me. I love it. It's not even work to me. I love it. And right now I feel deprived of that. And so I have to manage my anxiety and my anger every single day, because it's not something that I just, okay, like I get to go get a paycheck. I get to go get paid. I love what I do. I don't just love it. I crave it. It is part of who I am. And that's been taken away from me. So of course I'm going to feel anxious about it. Of course I'm going to be angry about it, but I have to manage those emotions. Okay. And I'm going to give you the tips at the end to help you get by that, to help you figure out how I do it. Maybe it's going to help you do it. So we begin to feel anger and anxiety and depression once we've been deprived of something, and they may even lead us to be operating out of emergency mode or fight or flight mode. Remember, when we get emotionally, mentally fatigued, we go into fight or flight mode. Deprivation actually creates a scarcity mindset. It's the whole toilet paper thing. We were so afraid it was going to run out that we went out and bought every damn thing we could ever. Most of you people are going to be wiping your butts for, you will probably, I was going to say, you'll probably, I can't say the D word because people get sensitive right now with the whole Rona thing. You might not be on the earth anymore and still have toilet paper left. That's how much some of you guys bought, right? Some of you guys, like, you go in your garage, you can't even put your car in the garage because there's so much TP. That's a scarcity mindset. So a scarcity mindset narrows your time frame and causes you to make impulsive, short-term decisions that increase the difficulties for you long-term, right? You know what, let me give an example. Overeating is the number one thing. You start avoiding simple tasks, like the tasks that you used to do. You start avoiding like the normal everyday things. Some of you guys have laundry piled up to the ceiling because it's a normal everyday task. And you start hoping that those things will magically disappear. Some of you guys aren't paying your bills because you have this scarcity thing. I might not be able to pay my mortgage. Like, you have this scarcity thing about money. You have this scarcity thing about food. So you're binge buying and you're binge eating and drinking because of the way that you've gone into this scarcity mindset. Now, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's psychological. You've gone into a fight or flight mode. You've got a scarcity mindset, and it's caused you to become more impulsive about short-term decisions. You're probably finding yourself consuming more than you ever have, right? Is that crazy? Raise your hand if you're eating and drinking more than you ever have. Raise your hand. I mean, every hand in the room just went up, right? So dealing with extremely limited resources, guys, which is what we feel like we have right now. We have limited resources because we feel like it's been taken away from us. Dealing with extremely limited resources increases the problems and the barriers that we have to deal with, resulting in mental fatigue and cognitive overload. Studies have shown that being lonely or deprived result in an unhealthy obsession, a hyper focus, and an overvaluing of things that we don't have, right? So now we're overvaluing things that we don't have access to. Like, some of us love to travel. So some of you guys right now are overvaluing the travel that you're missing out on. Like, it's almost hyper focusing in your brain where you can't think about anything else. Some of you, you want to go hang out with your friends and you can't, and you feel so lonely inside because you can't go hang out with Billy and Bobby and Danny. You can't go see them face to face. You can't go to the bar and drink a beer with them. You're feeling deprived by that, and you want it so freaking bad that you're hyper focused on it. So ironically, the nature of scarcity itself impedes our coping abilities, right? So we have this scarcity mindset. There's not enough money, right? Look at all the money everybody's asking for. Like, California wants like 11 gazillion, billion, zillion dollars to pay for everybody. God even knows what it's for. There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough food. There's not enough toilet paper. There's not enough, right? What song is it from? It's like a Western I used to watch when I was a kid. Sorry about that. So guys, stress and anxiety associated with scarcity interfere with what? Motivation. You have a lack of motivation right now because your stress and your anxiety are interfering with your ability to get motivated and inspired. And this causes us to be more vulnerable to temptations. This is why you're eating and drinking more. I'm going to ask you the question again. Have you noticed yourself doing one of these two things? Either buying shit you don't need, maybe going on Amazon and going on crazy shopping sprees because you can't go out and shop normally, or you're not even buying the things that there's two extremes. You're either on one extreme or the other, or you're not even buying the things that you really need, the things you really want. Because you have a scarcity mindset about money, and money may be going to run out. Are you doing one of those two things? Have you noticed yourself? I'm going to ask it again. Have you noticed yourself obsessing over food and actually eating and drinking more than normal? I bet, but I know a bunch of people are, right? I know you are. It's easy to do. You're psychologically, you're being conditioned to do that. So let's look back at the classic deprivation failure model. It's the crash diet, the fad diet, the diet in general. What that diet actually does. This is why if you work with me, the first thing I tell you is I don't believe in deprivation or starvation. You know why I don't believe in it? Because I know it doesn't work. I know it's a failing formula. I know you will crash and burn. So I won't even allow you to do that. But what crash fad diets actually do is they cause you to actually binge eat more than you ever would have. Not to mention the psychological effects it does to your brain and how you start to think about food differently, right? So they're damaging. Deprivation in and of itself is damaging to your psychology. So if you found yourself, guys, feeling alone right now, even if you're in a house full of people, this is totally normal. When we go into a scarcity, stress, fight or flight, deprivation mindset and mode, we begin to isolate. And what I don't want you to do is isolate. What I want you to do is I want you to get bold right now. I want you to stand up and be bold. I want you to stand up and be present in who you are and how you are going to present yourself to the world. I'm about to give you 5 steps. I'm about to give you the 5-step solution that is going to help you get out of that deprivation mindset and get into an appreciation mindset. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn those feelings of deprivation into appreciation. And I know right now you're thinking, you son of a, what? Please just try these. I promise you these work. I use these on a daily basis. My clients are using these on a daily basis. Some of the people in my group, guys, are handling this like a champ because they're using the strategies, they're using the tools, they're using the techniques. They're using the things that I'm teaching them on a daily basis to get where it is they want to go. And they're staying out of that scarcity mindset. So here's the 5 steps. Write these down. Number 1, simple. It's meditation. And part of my meditation is my gratitude, my visualization, and my manifestation for the day. So part of my meditation is I do my gratitude, I do my visualizations, and I do my manifestations for the day. What is my day going to bring me? My day's always going to bring me joy and power and happiness and love and all the amazing things in life that I want to get. I stay away from deprivation and I look at appreciation. What am I grateful for? Number 2 is movement. I move at least once a day. I get 1 workout in a day, and I try to go for 1 or 2 walks a day. The more you move, the more your mind moves, and the more your mind moves away from that deprivation, scarcity, fight or flight, stressed out thought processes. Get your body moving. Number 3 is motivation. I read, watch, or listen to something every day that motivates or inspires me for at least 15 minutes. YouTube videos, podcasts, books, things of that nature. Get motivated, get inspired by overwhelming yourself with positive, motivational, inspirational messages and meanings and talks and conversations that you're having with people. Call me. I will motivate your ass. Promise, right? You'll motivate me. Me motivating someone else, and that gets me to my 4th point, is encouragement. When I encourage, when I motivate, guess who gets more motivated than the person I'm actually motivated and encouraging? Me. Motivation breeds motivation. It creates momentum. When I motivate and I encourage, I get jacked. So I motivate and I encourage at least 3 to 5 people every day. I send them encouraging text messages, emails, phone calls, voice notes, videos, you name it, guys. Because the best way, if you're feeling hopeless or you're feeling down, is to try to help somebody else. If you help somebody else, you can't be you can't be down. You can't be anxiety ridden and depressed because you're bringing value to someone else's life. And that's so amazing. And number 5, guys, is simple. I want you to slow down and I want you to breathe. If you'll start to control your breath, your intake and your output of your breath, simply deep breath in, hold it, like get into some box breathing, some 16-second breath, take a 4-second inhalation, hold it for 4 seconds, blow it out for 4 seconds, hold that for 4 seconds, repeat that for 4 seconds. Do that repetitively throughout the day, 2-3 minutes a day, here and there, all throughout the day. It will calm your brain, your respirations, your heart rate, everything will go down. Your brain, the craziness of the situation will go down. You have to manage your stress levels using this 5-step formula. And I promise you, if you'll do it, and you'll do it consistently, right? One time's not going to work. You're going to have to consistently get after this. You're going to have to consistently do those 5 steps. And those 5 steps will help you move away from this deprivation mindset into an appreciation mindset. And listen, it doesn't take away the fact of that some of us are being deprived of certain things that we desire. It's a factual thing. But inside of that factual thing, we have to make a decision. And that decision is, will I allow myself to go into that deprivation, starvation, anxiety, depressive mindset? Or will I flip the script on it and I go into an appreciation, gratitude mindset and know that I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to win in the end? All right, guys, I love you. I hope that helps. Listen, I know the beard had to go. I appreciate you. I can't even, I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm staring at myself right now thinking, who is this joker? Like, he sounds smart. I don't know him yet, but I can't wait to get to know more about him. Guys, here's the rules. Here's the deal. Here's all I ask. If you love the podcast, you know what to do. 5-star review on iTunes, Google, wherever you do your reviews, wherever you're listening, and then share the episodes, share the cast, tell the people. That's how we get more people doing more things in the right way, so that the world just becomes a beautiful, great place to be. We love each other. We help each other. We cheer each other on. Gratitude, appreciation, all the magical things. That's how we get there, is we support each other and we get people listening to all the same positive, powerful information, and we get them away from that negativity, the drama, and the nonsense. Sound cool? All right, guys. You know it. You know I love you. You know we'll talk again soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.